What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and news is coming out fast and furiously. And really, the man doesn't even own it yet. Elon Musk floating out all sorts of ideas in terms of how, he's going to change Twitter. We saw earlier today CNN essentially going after Elon and running a story where they were encouraging people to go after advertisers because that was the true way to make Elon do what they wanted, which is really what they want. They know they can't control him, and to be honest, at this point, like, uh, even if they took it off the App Store or the Android store, I'm pretty sure he has enough money and influence that he would be able to survive it. That something, he'd find a way. And now a new report is coming out that some say that he's going to be charging some Twitter users to use the platform. Now, for me, should be, commercial users. I wouldn't see any issue with that, to be honest, as long as there were additional benefits provided. If you're a business, you pay $100 a year to use Twitter. I don't know, maybe not. Corporations, it's interesting, to see who he would end up charging. Elon on Tuesday night hinted that the possibility that businesses and government agencies could face a fee to use Twitter. Twitter will always be free for casual users, but maybe a slight cost for commercial or government users, Musk said, that he tweeted. The tweet was a reply to a cryptic message he posted earlier about the decline of fraternal trade organizations. Ultimately, the downfall of the Freemasons was giving away their stone cutting services for nothing, Musk said. If the pay-to-post policy was implemented, it would be the first major social media company that would charge users to interact with its platform. Well, it would be pretty interesting. He had previously said he planned on, SpaceX founder and the world's richest man has indicated he may ease Twitter censorship policies, verify every user, and convert the company's headquarters to a homeless shelter. He'd also previously planned on cutting the price of the site's $3 a month premium membership, Twitter Blue, and letting members pay in Dogecoin, the tycoon's preferred cryptocurrency. Well, I mean, it certainly would be pretty interesting. In terms of other things going on Twitter, we've got the meltdown, how it's going to affect female sports. I mean, that's an Olympic level reach. But in actual good news, Twitter's long rumored edit button is revealed. Here's how it works. How an edited tweet will look on the Twitter app, tweeted Twitter Wizard. So you have the current unreleased version of edit tweets re-uploads media. Instead of reusing them, and inefficient use of bandwidth and media processing power might be lossy too. Plays, it turns my video into an image, blah, 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 blah. The editing feature appears to adhere to journalistic standards in that, unlike other social media platforms, it reveals exactly how the tweet had been changed. After a tweet has been edited, the post will sport a, quote, edited update next to the timestamp, as well as show both the original error and the correction, per the explainer, which makes sense. Meanwhile, the old iteration of the tweet will bear a notification alerting users that there was a newer version of this tweet. In other words, you can say goodbye to the notion of covering up embarrassing online gaffes. Well, you really can't do that anyway. Anything you do online gets screenshotted by somebody somewhere, and it's on the internet forever, or it gets archived in this, in many different ways. Jay Sullivan, the company's VP of Consumer Products, claims there's a good reason for committing mistakes to digital memory. Without things like time limit controls and transparency about what's been edited, edit could be misused to alter the record of the public conversation. Well, duh. Okay. That's totally fine. I don't know that you necessarily need the edit option. However, as more people use Twitter to actually publish content, I suppose it's more, how would you say, like, it makes more sense because especially if you're going to have longer form content is I guess what I'm saying there. And then interestingly enough, now we have, Elon, apparently his purchase of Twitter is somehow affecting female sports. I don't even really know exactly how sometimes these reporters or journalists, how they like get to the point where they're at. But I guess this is a point we're making now that that Elon is somehow hurting women's sports by buying Twitter. I don't even really know how to quantify this. But here we go. Things are going to get a lot worse. Female sports reporters are worried about Elon Musk and Twitter. What? What? Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover of Twitter announced last week has raised alarms for many marginalized groups, often subject to mean words online. Musk has called himself a free speech absolutionist. Okay. Wouldn't it be absolutist? Anyway, who wants people on Twitter to have both the reality and the perception that they're able to speak freely without the bounds of the law. Female journalists who cover sports for a living are often subject to particularly cruel brand of online meanness. Across sports media, these women are worried. Can't imagine how female journals can stay on Twitter with Musk in charge. Julie DiCario, senior writer, editor at Deadspin, wrote on April 25th, referencing Musk's own toxic Twitter behavior. In 2018, during an online spat, a man recruiting drivers to rescue a dozen people trapped in a cave. He called him the P-word guy, and he deleted the tweet and won the lawsuit. Anyway, DiCario knows these online tormentors too well. In searching a 2016 clip that's been viewed nearly 5 million times, DiCario, the writer for The Cauldron and anchor at 670 The Score, Chicago sports radio station ESPN, reporter Sarah Spain, participated in an anti-bullying PSA. Men sat across from DiCario and Spain on camera and read mean tweets about them back to the journalists. Some missives are so misogynistic and mean that men can barely read the words on the screen. There are guys who basically, I'm their hobby, DiCario tells Time. They spend their entire day talking about me and trying to, I've never even heard of you. I love it. Like, Elon Musk buys Twitter. Women, how can we make this about us? Not like women TM, you know. Look, I think that this is hilarious, like a hilarious reach. First of all, you know, Elon buying Twitter doesn't really change anything for being a reporter in any functional way that I can think of. Also, maybe just be good at your job. I don't really know how being, you know, look, I'm not going to deny that there are jerks online, okay? I deal with them all the time. But also maybe like you could block them and then move on with your life instead of writing an entire article about how it's going to be worse now for women. Elon, of course, also says he's not worried about Twitter employees leaving the company. Musk was asked about the potential exits of employees while on the red carpet at the Met Gala on Monday, and he said, quote, "It's a free country. Certainly, if anyone doesn't feel comfortable with that, they're willing to leave on their own accord, go somewhere else. That's fine," he added. Well, I mean, what did you expect Elon to say? You know, I don't think, you know, he can, I mean, what is he going to do? People are going to quit. I think that he has had much smarter people than me look at this. He knows exactly what, like, the percentage of people that are just going to quit based on their new owner. I'm not going to pretend like it's zero, but I do think it will be such an insignificant percentage of people that it's not going to have any functional issues with employees. We always hear these like woke employees at like Netflix or at Spotify or Twitter, you know, pretending to represent the entirety of everyone that works there. Twitter is what, 7,000 employees or something like that. I'm going to guess that 6,000 of them have bills to pay, have mortgages, have retirement plans, have kids, have goals in life, that none of them like really involve quitting their job over like I don't know, an idealistic reason. Twitter probably pays pretty darn good, and you know, yeah, sure, some people are going to quit. You have the Twitter engineering head thinks about Elon Musk's plan. Barring a messy last-minute divorce, Elon Musk is on track to own Twitter. And yes, mea culpa, the mercurial brilliant entrepreneur offloaded around $8.5 billion in Tesla stock this week and prepared to pay the $44 billion for the side project. And soon he'll be free to change the service as he pleases. Alex Roder, Twitter's former head of engineering, joined Big Technology Podcast this week to discuss Musk's proposal, examining both their feasibility and advisability. Here's a look at the question: authenticating all humans. Upon announcing the deal, Musk said he wanted to authenticate all humans. The engineer said pure anonymity fosters the worst parts of speech online, so he loves Musk's authentication idea. As a private company, Twitter could afford to take a user number hit. Its benefit of Musk's ownership, the idea is feasible and advisable. On defeating spam bots, he said, I think you should do it, but everyone should be prepared. There's no perfect spam bot classer, I'm sure. The idea is feasible, though not perfect, and advisable. Look at that, speaking out in support, free speech. And there are maybe technical challenges to Musk's vision, including how that victory against spam bots could ensnare human speech as well. I really don't think there's an answer that's going to make everyone happy. Still, Musk could relax the current moderation rules and see how things plays out. The move is somewhat feasible, and its advisability is to be determined. Paid Twitter subscriptions also says the idea is feasible and advisable if implemented correctly, making the algorithm open source. Open sourcing algorithms is feasible and perhaps advisable, but only to dispel conspiracy theories. Longer editable tweets. These ideas are feasible, and Elon, it's up to you. Overwhelming support from Twitter's engineering head. See, he's got friends in there. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.